Hi and welcome everybody. In this episode we are going to make our very own Christmas cards, and I've got a couple of them that we are going to do in watercolors. I'm an artist who paint, write and photograph. I'm moving to one of the islands in Denmark with my family. Come with me on the journey and watch as my new life unfolds. Let the adventure begin. Say hello to Denmark, Copenhagen. I, for one, love the idea of Christmas cards. It's not every year that I've been able to send Christmas cards due to, well, you know, the holidays. Everything is going on all the time, and you only have so much time, so sometimes you just have to prioritize. But it's always nice when you get one of those lovely cards. It's a wonderful thing. Sending Christmas card is quite a new event, and it wasn't until 1843 that we started to mass produce Christmas cards in the United States. I believe the first Christmas card ever sent was sent in either England or Germany, I believe, in the 1610 or 1611. So it originated around that time. Highly popular both in Germany, United States, Denmark and Sweden around the 19th century, the late 19th century and the beginning of the 20th century. From that time, the cards have varied a lot in motive. The classical themes are candles, angels and snow cabins, Santas of course, and gnomes and elves, and yeah, a little bit of everything now. So what we're going to do today is we are going to make 4 different kinds of, well, I am going to make them. You can make whatever you want, of course, but I'm going to show you how to make these 4 types of Christmas cards that you can send. The first one we are going to do is one with pine trees. Very easy one to do, and the thing with these is that it doesn't have to be that precise, accurate. You just have to give the illusion of a forest, because it's the feeling we're after, not the visual exactness. And the second one we are going to make is a circle with cranberry branches. We are also going to make one with Christmas ornaments and one with snowflakes. So come on, and I'll show you just how to make them. If you're not subscribed to this channel, please consider doing so, because I've got a lot of tutorials on the way up, both in watercolors, in acrylic, and photographs, a lot of different things. So don't forget to hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video. And if you like this video, do hit that like button and share it if you like. The more the merrier, you know? Here we're going to make a snowy landscape with a forest, a pine tree forest. I'm going to start off with a green dark color mixed out with a lot of water, and I'm going to shape a lot of pine trees. When you make this, try to make a slight U shape. Now, it doesn't matter if you don't have the exact colors that I'm using, just use what you got. I do apologize for the bad film quality. It's so hard to film here in the north this time of year, especially when you're depending on the sunlight. I can't find my lights in the boxes here, but I keep looking, so stay with me. Then, with a little more color, I'm going to paint the trees in front on the back line. And it doesn't matter if the trees aren't perfect, we're going to go over them a couple of times. And now with a different green, we are going to add some shades to the trees to make them come alive a bit. Just add it to the center part of the tree and not to the whole tree, just bits and pieces. Here I'm adding some snow in front of the forest. Unfortunately, the light here was really bad and I'm not sure if you can see the shift, but I'm using a mixture of blue and Payne's grey washed out with a lot of water, and I'm adding a bit more blue for the sky. Now to make the painting come alive, we are going to add some snow. I'm using one of my favorites, a Sunfeather brush with some acrylic white paint. You can also use a regular brush if you don't have one of these little darlings, but I must say I do love this tool very much. It's so handy. With a regular brush you can either dot in the snow or you can spread out the straws like a fan and mimic the Sunfeather brush. It's a bit messy, but it works. Then we are writing the greeting card with a pencil very light on hand, and we fill it in with paint. And of course, we top it all off with a bit of snow. And on the cards we are going to write different greetings, and some of them actually in different languages. So we are going to use English, of course, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, which are the most common ones. We are also going to use the Swedish one, the most common one anyway, which is God Jul. And we are going to use the Danish, which has actually two words. It's God Jul and Glädje Jul. What I've learned is that God Jul you're using in whole of December, while Glädje Jul is used from Christmas Day until a couple of days after Christmas. So that's the difference. Obviously we are then going to write God Jul on our Christmas card. That's about it for those cards. But then there are so many different languages, and I don't know actually how to say Merry Christmas in more than Italian, Buon Natal, and Spanish, Feliz Navidad, and I don't have more languages, so please comment below how do you say Merry Christmas in your language, and please write what kind of language you're using. Here we're going to make a cranberry bread, and the first thing to do is to find something that has a circle form to use as a template and draw a light circle from. I'm using some paint. Next, I'm going to blend some paint together to get the same color of cranberry leaves. Here I'm mixing burnt and hook green with Payne's grey. Start by adding some branches and leaves, and you make the leaves easily just by using the shape of the brush and make the edges really soft. Don't make the leaves too large, just thin and small. Let there be some space between the branches and the leaves. That makes it more alive. Here we're going to add some more darker green color to add some shades and make the whole thing pop a bit. Here we are adding the cranberries in small circles. I'm blending two different kind of reds together, a cadmium red and a rose maddew red. We are adding some more shading and a bit more color to the berries. After that, we add our greeting and we're done. here we're going to paint some ornaments hanging from pine tree branches. The first thing I do here is to mix some pine tree green color. Then I start with 2 straight horizontal lines from each side. With a very light hand, from the branch and outwards I draw the pine needles, first above and then below, and then we do the other one as well. And as you can see, you can draw from the other way, but you get more blunt edges and they are not that fine. So it's better to draw from the inside and then out. After that, I take a little bit more color and a little bit more green color, and I repeat the process. Do see to it that you don't get so much water that I got here on the first one, because it all makes a little puddle and, well, it doesn't look like pine needles, it just looks like a blur. But it doesn't matter, we're going to fix that anyway. And as you see, we all make mistakes. I dropped my brush here on the paper, but that's okay. That just makes this painting personal and more odd, so that's a good thing. Here I take a little bigger brush and I make 2 circles with some stained water. To the first one I'm going to add some yellow color and a bit of orange, and then we are going to let this paint move and go where it wants to go. The other one I'm going to mix 2 different red colors together, so I just make some dots here and there and let them walk where they like. Then we take a handkerchief and we dab a bit of excess away. And we form the ornament into a round circle with a smaller brush with a really sharp edge. Then we take a handkerchief and you dab away a bit of color to make it look like there's a reflection, a light shining in the ornament. Then it really pops and comes alive. Now we take white paint and we form the thread. Now I'm going to take my sunfeather brush and some white acrylic paint, and I'm gently going to dab all over the pine branches and a bit of the ornaments too, but you better wait until the ornaments have completely dried. And we are going to add some snow. Then we are going to write very lightly with a pencil Merry Christmas or whatever greeting that you wish on top of the branches. Then I'm going to paint them with a fine brush that has a sharp edge to it. Now take your time with this. I usually go over this more than once to add some more color to get some depth into it. And after the text has dried, I dab a bit of snow over it as well, and also over the ornaments. Here we're going to make some snowflakes on a night sky background, and if you are to follow the rules, you should tape down your paper with a masking tape to avoid that you get this bulky paper. You will see that mine will become bulky later because I haven't found my masking tape yet, but still looking. But you can do it this way too. You just have to press the paper between a couple of books when it's dried to flatten it out. Masking your paper down when working on wet technique is a basic procedure. Well, you can do it different ways. The first thing I'm going to do here is to form a rectangle and fill the area with some water. Not too much, and not so little that it's going to dry out before I can put the paint on. And next I'm going to start filling this with some blue color and then some streaks of a darker blue color. The idea here is not to get the perfect shading, but a live background. Just imagine the night sky above and have that in mind when you're working. Night sky is not one fixed color and it's not perfect. It's a mixture of many different colors. If the paper dries too quickly, just add in some more water with the paint. Here I'm just adding some more structure to the sky with different dark shades of blue and Payne's Grey. If you see that the paint is assembling at the edges and forming puddles, we don't want that. So just take your brush and gently draw it towards the middle again. Now I'm using a handkerchief to dab some stars into the sky. I'm going to use an acrylic white paint to paint the snowflakes with. Snowflakes are as they are unique, and there's no one like the other one, just like us. And the first thing I'm going to do here is to draw a cross, and then in the middle of that I'm going to draw a smaller X. Then I continue with making small V formations on the vertical line and the horizontal lines. I'm making a kind of a round shape form in the edges of the horizontal lines, and beneath that a star in the lines. Now I am extending the middle X lines and forming a spade shape in the edges. I'm adding more V shapes to the horizontal lines and a star at the end. And I'm going to add half a bow to the X lines beneath the edge and some more V shapes, but this time they are going to be facing the other way. The second snowflake, I'm also starting with a cross again and then an X. Next, with this star, adding some more lines and extending the lines. I'm trying to make the lines a bit thicker towards the middle of the snowflake. This way it's going to look like it's shining, because the paint is going to be more concentrated there. And a small note here is that if the paint is too thick to work with, just add a bit of water. But if you have a new tube of paint, do pour some paint on a palette or a plate. Don't add the water to the tube like I'm doing here. I only add water to the tube in this case because the tube is almost empty and I'm trying to get the very last part of it out. So don't do this to a new tube or a half-used tube because you're going to damage the paint. Third snowflake, I once again start with a cross and then followed by an X. And I'm adding V-lines and arrows. You can make these snowflakes just as you like them. It doesn't matter if they're not perfect or symmetrical. Just let your imagination take over. And when we are done, we are going to add some snow and then we'll write our greeting on the card. Don't miss out on my next video because I've got a few Christmas tips. I've done some research. The 5 most common thing a girl wants for Christmas, or according to my research, of course. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching this video. I do appreciate it. And if you liked it, give it a thumbs up and maybe even share it. And Merry Christmas. Bye, lovelies.